Alright guys, so Woj just broke the news at pretty much like 1:50 around that time that Marc Gasol is being traded from the Memphis Grizzlies to the Toronto Raptors for Jonas Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, and a 2024 second-round pick. So it's still 2:30 right now, so I have no idea if Mike Conley is going to get traded. I'll make a whole other video if that happens, but I'm going to talk about this, that Mike Conley's on the team. So I'll be giving my both sides opinions, how I usually do this, but immediately I want to give a dub to the Raptors for this. Even if Kawhi Leonard leaves next year, you're still going to be a playoff team with Siakam, Gasol, who has like a $25 million player option. I'm going to guess he's going to opt in. I just feel like he would, unless he doesn't care about the money, and I respect that. And he might walk and leave and play somewhere else. I don't know. But we're going to talk about that. Maybe Gasol opts in. So they built a pretty good foundation. They didn't have to give up Siakam or Anunoby or any first-round picks, which is huge. I thought this is a pretty light package for the Marc Gasol. I'm kind of interested to see what the Hornets were offering. I feel like the Hornets could have put out such a better package than what they just got. Like, the Hornets could have gave up this year's first and maybe like Cody Zeller and like Devontae Graham or something, or maybe Malik Monk. They could have. Charlotte's probably hesitant on giving up Malik Monk for just Marc Gasol, but this is kind of an L on Charlotte because now Charlotte, who are they going to add to pair up with Kemba? Maybe Vucevic. I think they should go after Vucevic, but we'll see. I doubt that will happen, honestly. But yeah, I think this is a pretty big dub for the Raptors. I guess it's a small dub for the Grizzlies. Not really the best return in the world. I would just think for Marc Gasol they'd be able to get a first-round pick. But with his age and contract, you know, teams are probably not willing to give up a first-round pick. And I'm not even sure if Toronto has theirs this year. I think they do, so I'm kind of curious to see what was holding them against just giving up their first-round pick this year, which is going to be like 28-29, which is basically a second-round pick anyway. So Valanciunas, solid big man. I believe he has 2 years left on his deal. I think he has a player option this offseason, which I'll probably opt into unless he hates it in Memphis. Or the player options next year. I think it's this offseason. And they pick up DeLon Wright, who's definitely the best asset in this package. Still a young guard. I would like to see him start in Memphis, either at the 2-guard spot with Conley, but if Conley moves, then he'll definitely be the starting point guard in him and probably like Javon Carter there. CJ Miles sucks. At this point, I can see him getting bought out, and a 2024 second-round pick, which is probably, I think it would be a 9th grader. They just traded Marc Gasol basically for a 9th grader right now, but I mean, it had to be done. I'll go to Memphis' side of things first. Now, Memphis is, I believe, the 7th worst record in the NBA, 6th, 7th, or 8th, around that. I think it might be 6th. I think they're right after Atlanta, and their pick right now is top 8 protected, I believe, going to Boston, which they're obviously, they don't want to fall into that top 8. They're going to be tanking right now, especially with Marc Gasol leaving. So they're like, all right, playoffs not happening. Let's tank. Let's make sure we get our pick right now. And I believe next year it's top 5 protected or top 3. It might be top 5. And then in 2021 it's unprotected. So probably in their eyes, they're trying to be relevant again in 2021, where they don't have their first round pick, and they're just probably going to use. They're going to rebuild this year, this offseason, and next year I could see them being pretty bad as well. As long as they can secure their top 5 pick, because that would really suck if they were bad next year and they had like they fall to the 3rd worst record in the NBA and they end up getting the 6th pick. Like, that would suck, and that's just one of the. That just kind of sucks for another reason to tanking now, because they changed the whole lottery odds. Not a fan of the draft lottery. I think the NBA should kind of remove it, but it is what it is. I mean, or they should. I don't know if I like the new odds that much. I kind of like the old odds better. But yeah, so Memphis, they're tanking. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see if Conley goes. Marc Gasol was kind of thinking they would get a little bit more for him, either a first-round pick or maybe a better asset than DeLon Wright. I guess Valanciunas isn't a bad player either, but like, they're obviously going to try to tank. So maybe Valanciunas will get moved in the offseason, or will opt out, or maybe they'll just have him to sell jerseys or somewhat sell tickets, or just somewhat not be an abysmal team, and he'll just make them, I don't know, a 25-win team instead of a 20-win team. I don't know, something like that. So, I don't know. I think this is a pretty big steal for the Raptors. Now, on the Raptors side of things, they lose Valanciunas, but Gasol is definitely an upgrade over him. And they lose DeLon Wright. So, I mean, they have other guards like Fred VanVleet. And like Anunoby, well, he's more of, I guess, a small forward. And they also have Norman Powell that they're paying a decent amount of money to. So, Marc Gasol, big upgrade. Not the defender he once was, but still isn't a slouch on defense. Definitely a better defender than Valanciunas. I'm going to guess Ibaka moves to the bench, because there's no way they move Siakam to the bench. They're definitely going to keep Siakam in the starting 5. So I guess it'll be Conley, Green, Kawhi, Siakam, Gasol. That is good. I freaking love the Eastern Conference right now. Literally, Philly went out, made a boss-ass move, traded for Tobias Harris after trading for Jimmy Butler at the beginning of the year. They're like, all right, we're all in. We want to make it to the finals this year. And then Milwaukee today gets Mirotic for pretty cheap. I think Stanley Johnson in 1 second. I saw a tweet that it was 4 seconds. Might have just been 1 second. I don't know. But they picked up Mirotic. Great shooter. I'm going to guess he's going to start down. I mean, if they're going to roll a lineup like, I mean, I don't know, Brogdon, Bledsoe, Mirotic, Giannis. I mean, they're going to have Giannis out there with Mirotic and Lopez, who are shooters. That's going to be pretty filthy. Budenholzer's going to kill that. And Toronto's like, you know what, we're going to up you guys too. We're going to go out and get Marc Gasol. Definitely upgrades your team. Good offensive talent. I would say he's the second scoring option now behind Kawhi Leonard. I would say he's definitely above Siakam and probably Lowry. I can see Lowry's scoring dropping a little bit, but dude, the guy's going to be averaging double-digit assists, I think, for the rest of the year. And yes, yeah, I guess Ibaka will move to the bench. I hope he's okay with that because Valanciunas was coming off the bench originally, but there's no way you're benching Marc Gasol, obviously, or having him be your sixth man. And I just feel like you can't bench Siakam. He's just too important to that starting five. So I think this is a pretty big steal for the Toronto Raptors. It's kind of sad to see Marc Gasol go from the Grizzlies because he's been there for so long, and Memphis really should have traded him like 2 years ago in like the 2016-17 season, but they were just too incompetent to do it then, so they basically got DeLon Wright for Marc Gasol and a second-round pick 2 years later because they waited, and his value dropped, and you didn't even make it to the playoffs last year. You were terrible, and you didn't make it. You're not making it to the playoffs this year either. So Memphis really messed this one up. If they traded him 2 years ago, the value would have been a lot higher. Definitely could have got something really good. And teams were, and like the contract wasn't going to scare anybody because teams were throwing $20 million at Tyler Johnson and Evan Turner and Allen Crabbe. So it's not like they would have been scared to take on $25 million from Marc Gasol. So Memphis did mess up, traded him 2 years later, ended up with basically DeLon Wright in the second round pick that matters. I think Woj might have just tweeted again. Wait, what? The Clippers are trading Mike Muscala to the Lakers for Beasley and Zubats? What? What? Wait, okay, sorry for interrupting the whole Marc Gasol video, but I'm just kind of, I'm kind of confused because why would you give up Zubats for Mike Muscala unless they're throwing in a future pick? But that made no sense. What? Alright, well, I don't know what's the return they're going to give for him. Maybe it'll happen before the end of the video, but that is a really weird trade. So sorry for getting off the topic of the Marc Gasol dilemma. But yeah, Marc Gasol getting traded. Big W for the Raptors. The Eastern Conference is about to be so entertaining for pretty much the rest of the year in the playoffs. I'm sorry, Pacers fans, like your team. It's going to come down to the four. The second round is going to be so entertaining. Bucks, like say the playoffs end up going, I don't know. Number one, it goes Milwaukee, Toronto, Boston, Philly, right? That's just, we'll say hypothetically, that's it. We're going to get Milwaukee, Philly in the second round, and Boston, Toronto. The Eastern Conference playoffs are going to be more entertaining than the Western Conference playoffs. Because say, hypothetically, the second round of the Western Conference playoffs, it's like Thunder versus, I don't know, Denver, and then like Houston versus OKC or something like that. Or say it's Warriors versus Houston and Denver versus OKC. I mean, that's entertaining, but the Warriors are going to stomp on Houston, like, probably. And, I mean, OKC-Denver will be a fun series, but the Eastern Conference, the conference finals and the Eastern Conference finals are going to be so much more entertaining. Even, like, seeing, like, the Nets, who are going to be the 6th seed, play like Boston in round one will be pretty entertaining. Pacers, I wish I was able to get hurt because obviously we would have been able to see a lot better of a matchup there. But yeah, I think the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time, or the Eastern Conference Playoffs for the first time in a while, are going to be a lot more entertaining than the Western Conference Playoffs, which is kind of crazy to say. The Kings just traded Labissiere to the Blazers for sweating, and wow, so it was just straight up Muscala for Beasley and Zubats. Wow. Why would the Lakers... They got that for Zubats? I feel like they could have gotten something a little bit better than Mike Muscala instead of for Zubats. I don't know. That was kind of a weird trade. But yeah, that is pretty much my opinion on the Raptors trade for Marc Gasol. Big W for the Raptors. They had a... I don't know how many time All-Star. Pretty, I wouldn't say he's a lead center anymore, but he's still a top 10 center, probably from like the 7 to 12 range, and the best centers in the NBA. But he'll provide great scoring, okay defender, pretty solid defender. Siakam will help him out there, and obviously Kawhi and Kyle Lowry are great defenders as well. So yeah, watch out. Obviously Toronto is going to be really good, and yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for me. It's Woj said the deal opens up a roster spot and gives the Lakers a chance to sign a player in the buyout market. Muscala gives the Lakers some shooting too. Okay, so that was the reasoning for the Lakers shooting Zubats for Muscala. Interesting. I don't know. Memphis, they're obviously going to tank. Hopefully they get maybe land in the top 5. I would like to see maybe Cameron Reddish or RJ Barrett or Obviously, like not John Morant, but maybe like Daniel Gafford or Bol or Nazir Little or Doobie, somebody like that in Memphis. So yeah, that'll be cool. Memphis is obviously tanking. They're obviously just going to rebuild through the draft, pair somebody up with JJJ, and obviously it depends if they keep Conley before the deadline. North Philly, you're going to hear comps. It is what it is. Marc Gasol, Raptors rebuild will be out later today unless Anthony Davis or Kemba Walker get traded, which is not likely. So yeah, that is going to be for me. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys thought on the trade in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.